What's the most painful moment in your life? How you got through it yourself becomes the recipe for how others can do it too. I think overcoming the fear of rejection inside of a business context is where you're going to be best. Content and partnerships. Content is what we've been doing here, making content. If you keep talking about job interviews and how to win in a job interview, you're going to get people who need help with job interviews. You keep talking about how to be good on camera, you keep talking about how to do good sales calls, you're going to get people who have those problems. Like whatever you start creating content around, you're going to start attracting people who have those issues, and they'll message you, right? Partnerships is you find people who are already connected to the people who you want to work with. So a speaking house, or there's an event happening, you're going to be the trainer. You contact them and say, hey, I want to help people overcome their fear of speaking. I'll work with your people.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes. No, I'm going to be dead honest. Is one of the reasons I chose to came to the workshop here in Toronto is to get more clarity in where I want to go.
Okay.
Because maybe you had a bit of, like, first off in Chicago was great. That sort of was a start for me to overcome the claustrophobia and all that. And it enrolled the process of I wanna get into coaching. Like I wanna like, how do you say that? I wanna train that skill.
Yeah.
So why I came to Toronto is to sort of try to pinpoint where I wanna go. And like I know sales, I know presentation, and I've been doing it a bit when I got back, but there's not like a real challenge in there for me. It's like,
what's the most painful moment in your life?
You know, what we spoke a bit about yesterday on the video, where it's like my fear of rejection and all that led me to change my behavior into sort of trying to please people.
Yeah, that's what you want to coach.
Well, here's the flip side. While trying to please people, I always try to fit the perfect image to people, right? And by doing that, I developed like for me, it's really easy to turn off my own ego and speak to people and have them like talk to me about it. And that's like, I don't know, I'm not sure yet where I can coach on that, if you understand what I mean.
How you got through it yourself becomes the recipe for how others can do it too.
Yeah, and maybe you can help me a bit, like trying to finalize that recipe, because I think I'm this close through the whole workshop and everything, but it's like...
So even looking at what you did with Chicago's the starting point. Here's a guy who, I mean, you watch my content, you watch some videos, and then you decide that I need to get over my fear of claustrophobia, so I'm gonna hop on a 11-hour flight. Like, you could have done something smaller,
completely,
dude. You could have just gone into an elevator for 5 floors and, you know, or wrap yourself. You could have done something a little less big than flying across.
But I know myself and that doesn't work.
No, but that's great. So now you want to work with other people who are the same way. You need to help them face some of their fears. In your confidence. Now, it doesn't mean you only help people who have claustrophobia and get them onto planes. That's too literal. But taking people who have a fear and helping them go off and do some... Overcome it.
Yeah.
Through a big act.
That's where I need a bit of help. Like how... I think a lot of people are facing the general fear of not feeling good enough, not being good enough, or the fear of rejection,
This is why you like coaching speaking.
Yes.
Because people are afraid to speak, and you're going to give them some coaching advice to help them overcome their fear.
All right. I think I can start with that. But would you, like, from I just want your point of view, like, would you pinpoint it down to saying, okay, guys, I'm going to work with speakers, because it applies to so many fields, right? You can be afraid of a job interview because you're just not confident in your skin and you start to stutter, and like, there's many ways where we need to present ourselves, and that's where I want to.
Anything that is fear of judgment is going to be something that you relate better to.
Yeah.
So why are people afraid of speaking? Because they're going to be judged because you might get on the stage and suck,
Yeah.
and you got people looking at you, right? People who are afraid to make a sales call because they're going to get rejected.
Afraid of the other people's reaction.
Yeah, rejection. Anytime there's that fear of rejection or being judged, you're going to like it. If it's a fear of dogs, and then you're going to give them a dog,
I don't know. I don't. I don't.
It's not going to be as good.
No.
So you already narrowed it down. It's people who have a fear of other people's opinions, you're going to help them through it, especially now with your skill set in the business world. So how does that apply in the business world? It applies to sales, it applies to speaking, it applies to making videos, any of that stuff that now you have the skill set to help.
Yep.
And the credibility and the background with everything you've done in your company. You're not just out of university and trying to figure out what you want to do.
No, it's not. It's real life
Right?
experience.
Of course. So you have the skill set to help, and you have the problem that you want to address.
Now, great. That's really valuable.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Yeah, it's always good to mirror back and get some reflection on it. But it's like, how would you transfer that into a tangible service? If you understand, because it feels so untangible for me.
So if somebody
Like would you, like I can sell anything. That's not the problem. As long as I can give you a transaction, like you give me money, I will give you a product, right?
Sure.
But how somebody needs to come to me and say, hey, shit, man, I suffer from, I'm afraid of a job interview. You know, I'll stop progressing my career because I don't want to face this job interview. How do you attract these people? Like how would you market that?
Content and partnerships.
Yeah.
Content is what we've been doing here, making content. If you keep talking about job interviews and how to win in a job interview, you're going to get people who need help with job interviews. You keep talking about how to be good on camera, you keep talking about how to do good sales calls, you're going to get people who have those problems. Like whatever you start creating content around, you're going to start attracting people who have those issues, and they'll message you, right?
Yeah.
Partnerships is you find people who are already connected to the people who you want to work with. Mm-hmm. So a speaking house, or there's an event happening, you're going to be the trainer. You contact them and say, hey, I want to help people overcome their fear of speaking. I'll work with your people.
Ah, that's a good idea. Yes. No.
If you're going to do sales training,
yeah,
you contact companies who have a sales department. You say, I'm a sales trainer.
Yeah.
And I specialize in, yes, I can help people get to a close. I have all the sales skills, but why I'm really great is I help people overcome their fear of rejection. So they're not going to be afraid to make the phone call, not just give them a script that will work. Yeah. Right? That makes you different.
Yeah, because and that's the part where okay, cool. I can totally relate to that because that is the part where, that's the part where will make me come back to Toronto. Because that's the part where I want to learn, like, okay, it's the thing under the thing that I want to understand, right? And it's not, I can give somebody a script of, okay, how are you going to sell it? But it's the psychology behind it. How can you make somebody great at it instead of just teaching them a skill? You want to...
Yeah, so you're not just giving them a script, you're teaching them how to overcome. The problem with why they suck at delivering a script is because they're still afraid of rejection. So you're going to be the guy who actually goes in and fixes this problem and give them the scripts to go off and win.
Yeah, it's just I have to visualize how...
So you go in and you call every company in your city with a sales department and you talk to the VP of sales and say, here's what I specialize in.
Yeah.
I want to come and train your sales team.
In the beginning, I think I'm just going to do it for free because it's like...
Great, and if you're great, they'll hire you back because having you come in for one day is going to move the needle a little bit, and then you got to keep coming back, and they're going to hire new salespeople. Yeah. But that's the model. So your content will have people coming to you, and partnerships and sales is you going to them.
Yeah, because that's the thing. That's the thing I love. I really like the whole workshop. Here has helped me a lot, but I cannot see what kind of content I would put up on my Instagram to attract these people. But I think you answered that for me just right here.
I think overcoming the fear of rejection inside of a business context is where you're going to be best.
Yep.
So there may be other categories, but job interview, speaking.
Yeah, everything which is related to work. I mean,
sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
because I don't like people that are afraid of spiders. I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
But now that's clarity. So, but not just afraid of rejection.
Yeah.
Afraid of judgment. That's the fear that you're addressing.
Yep. Yeah, because that's the fear I know.
Exactly. And you know the business skills.
Yeah.
So you're addressing people with afraid of rejection, a fear of rejection in the business world.
Yep.
And so what content do you make? Pick out all the ways that you can be afraid of rejection. And then you tell me your message.
Yeah, I would do a top 10 on how to ace a job interview or something like that.
Yeah.
Or how to...
But inside it has to be the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
So it's not just be prepared and wear a suit and don't chew gum and all the usual stuff that you hear in a top how to overcome a job interview, right?
Yeah.
But okay, I'm doing that and I still mess up the job interview because I'm terrified, Benjamin. I wore the suit and I didn't chew gum and I fixed my hair and I still crapped out because I stuttered my way through it because I'm terrified of, right? So like, tell me that. How do I deal with that problem?
Yeah.
How do I fix that? So then I walk in, I want the job, I want to look good, I want to get a yes, but if I don't, it's not going to destroy me.
Yeah.
So I have confidence going into the room.
Yeah, it is to yeah, great. Could you send me this video? I need it.
That's it. So that's content, and then partnerships and sales.
Yeah.
You're doing outreach to organizations who have this need.
Yeah, like I to be honest, I can say that when I have a tangible service, I personally don't really I'm not affected by the fear of rejection anymore.
Great. So
through the whole process. So
awesome.
I think
so how you got there is now something you need to teach, because most salespeople don't feel that way.
No, but yeah.
Most salespeople are afraid of rejection.
Then you shouldn't be in sales.
No.
Or they didn't have the right training.
No.
You know?
Yes, they need Benjamin training is what they need.
Okay, cool. No, we were just out in the street, like blowing bubbles with strangers.
Okay.
That just, I think that's really cool to do.
Okay.
Because it's you know, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And once you learn to love the challenge as a salesperson, that's when you're going to become great.
Great. So teach me how to do that. Right. That's your content.
Yeah.
So fear of judgment, fear of rejection in the business context is what you help and specialize in.
Yeah.
You create the content around that, and it may take you into different. It may take you into areas that you didn't even think of because you get known as that guy.
Yeah.
Like maybe some CEO is afraid to present to his board.
Yeah.
Because his numbers aren't good.
Yeah.
And he wants to look confident, and he's got to go to this board meeting next week.
How we're going to
what do I do?
Confidence. Yeah.
And it's not. And he knows to like dress nice and all this stuff, but it's not public speaking, and it's not camera, and it's not a typical sales call. It's I got to pitch my board. Benjamin, can you help me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, here's what you do.
Yes. Great. Thank you very much. Nice.
We got it. If you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, I have a special offer happening right now. Go check out the website right next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.